We are at the top of the week for the August 18th, 2025 free general energy forecast for you. And people, I don't even have words for what we're going through right now. I mean, it is coming at us from every direction. And frankly, if you're still semi-functional, I think that's fantastic. I mean, I look at what's going on with the national scene and the continued escalation. I look at what's going on energetically. We're getting it from all angles, and we're literally at that place in the month. And I pretty much predicted this with the timeline jumping and the energetics that I saw, that we're pretty much at that place in the month where everything really is cracking apart, and even we feel like we're cracking apart. I'm sure you're seeing me. I'm in my glasses. I am not on the top of my game. It has been very challenging, very low energy, but I'm still here to get in front of you and at least let you know a little bit about what's going on right now. So just a couple of quick announcements. The weekly and monthly subscription for the full deep dive of the energy forecast, it is up, it is ready, it is going. It is both on my Shopify, or if you want to go read up on it, it is at my website, www.somaticmoney.com. I have also released a short add-on program about transforming with your cellular code, because that is very pertinent for all the timeline jumping that we are going through right now. And I think it will help people with their own landscape as far as how to modulate moving through some of these very intense energies that we're going through right now. So I've got both of those going on for you. And what I want to do for you right now is go through some of the general energy forecasts to get you started for this week. I think the first thing I want to talk about right now is it's happening in my own life. I'm seeing it in other people's lives, and that is what is happening on the national scene, and the energies are so intense. I think the first thing we have to talk about is trauma. The trauma that the environment we're living in is what that is creating for us as a collective and as an individual, and also the triggering that happens with that. And then when you compound it with these very intense energies, and I get into the details of that in my energy forecasting, when you compile that with the energies going on, we're really at some, even though we're transforming and there's very amazing, wonderful things going on, we've got some real critical things going on as well with trauma, PTSD, CPTSD. And so if you find yourself cracking, literally feel like you're cracking or cracking apart, and if you feel like some of what's going on with the cracking, the coming apart is trauma, I think that's very normal for what we're living through right now. I think that is part of the scenery. I mean, just to give you an idea, today I've been walking around reliving, I'm Gen X, so Gen X raised by boomers. I am reliving memories that I had forgotten for ages. I am reliving memories of getting spanked when I was 4, 5, 6 years old. One memory in particular of my dad, and my dad was he was a nice guy. He was a peace-loving guy, but my dad, when he was younger and I was little, I remember him at one point, I don't even know what I did that was wrong, and he had grabbed me by one of my hands and just scooped me up and whap, whap, whap on the butt. And that was normal. That was normal during those days. That was a normal thing to do. And I was remembering that and remembering other circumstances like that. And so if you've got trauma type things coming up because of the environment that we're in or the energies going on, that is a perfectly normal thing to have going on right now. The other thing that's going on right now, what we have come through this past week, is that there's been very powerful, transformative energy. So if you feel yourself, and this is on the other end of the continuum, if you feel yourself just taking these huge leaps through space and moving through a lot of processing and evolutionary jumps, that's all part of the landscape too. So it kind of makes sense that our shadow world would be coming out as we're doing really big evolutionary leaps and really big cellular code changes. just people, it is a very, very intense time. And what I see going on right now between last week moving into this week, we are not out of the woods. We are not out of the woods by any stretch of the imagination. So one of the things that I want to leave with you is pace yourself. Please, please, please pace yourself. In the forecast, I'll get into, the intensity, the energy peaks and the dips. But overall, I would say pace yourself, because we've got more landscape to move through before we come down off of this ride, and it begins to get a little bit more reasonable is what I would like to say. So take care of yourself, monitor your surroundings, do not push it, pace yourself. We're doing very huge things as a humanity right now in both shadow world and light world. And it's very important to keep tabs on those, because right now it's very easy to lose yourself in the mix of all of it right now. Now, one of the other things that I did want to do for you here at the top of this week was just see if I could tune in with Spirit Team just a little bit and see if there were any messages, just some real quick messages coming through to drop for you. So let me just tune in on that real quick. All right, man, right out of the gate, the first thing they're dropping is just, I hear pace yourself, pace yourself, pace yourself. And so they are confirming that. They are reiterating that, what I just said previously. Let me check in and see if there's something else. Okay, I can hear them saying, different people are going to have different things happening at different times. And so maybe you already went through huge transformation last week, and this week is a little bit more PTSD. Or maybe last week was your PTSD week, and this week is more of your evolutionary change. Like, everybody's cycle is different because everybody's houses in the astrology is different, and the timeline jumps hit people differently at different times. And so everything that I'm talking about, it may come at different sequences for you, is what Spirit Team is saying. And just because I am sharing it with you in a certain sequence does not mean that it needs to line up for you like that. Sequencing could be very different for you in this space than what I'm talking about. But the feeling that I do get from Spirit Team is that the intensity level, the intensity level is there for everyone, no matter what we're dealing with at this time. Yeah, they just keep coming back and saying, pace yourself. And then that same message from last week, know where your feet are. Remember that message from last week? They were like, pay attention to your feet, keep in touch with your feet, stay grounded through your feet. There is more of that going on. And I think that has to do with wherewithal with your grounding and being in your body, especially with the swirl of energies that is going on right now. All right. And then I can hear them say something on the back end of this. They're saying something like, you will all be better people and at peace with yourself once you come through this storm. Remember at the front end of this, the whole prediction about, it's going to be 6 weeks of storm, and, now we're in the middle, we're, pretty much in the middle of the storm. And what Spirit Team is basically saying is that once we get through this, we're going to be very different people. And there's a strong likelihood that we will be at peace with the new people that we are, because I have a feeling these transformations are moving us into better alignment with the people that we truly are. All right, so that's what I've got for you for now with the free general energy forecasting for this week. If you want more detail, if you want the deeper dive, if you want the charting, I've got all the charting that I will be sharing with that. I will have specifics on the timeline jumps and the astrology and more information from Spirit Team, a little bit more about current events, just a real juicy take on what's going on energetically and giving insight into the meaning, more of the meaning of what we're living through right now. All right, so that's what I've got for you for now. Make sure you keep walking forward to meet those miracles along the way, and I will see you in my next video.